Okay, let's continue with the February tracking watch list cleaning. I continue from the 10th of February where I finished the last time. So let's see, 10th of February. I don't know why this thing is here because there was no breakout or breakdown the 10th of February. Let's see. So this one had a little bit of a breakout. Not much follow through. This one had earnings. Absolutely no follow through there. Another Latin American steel name had some tiny follow through, but nothing really. Let's see, where is the 10th? Okay, so this thing had some follow through, not much. This one had some really, no, that's in January. Let's see. Yeah, it was kind of extended already. So no surprise that there was no follow through. No follow through. Not much follow through. Now this one had some really good follow through. Went up 4 days in a row after the breakout. So that one fairly decent. TGB. Let's see. 10th. Oh, so it broke out the same day as N8K. As you remember, I traded this one and then Kerrisdale put out the hit piece on it. So kind of ruined my trade. I don't know why this thing is here. There was no breakout. Sometimes I put stuff in the wrong watch list by accident. Where's the 10th? Another one. There's nothing here. This is weird. So this thing had earnings, absolutely no follow through at all. Another one. What the hell is this? This is super weird. I must have put a. I don't know what's going on here. Another earnings related name beaten down, but very kind of shitty earnings. So no surprise there was no follow through. Another one with earnings. Really no follow through. This one had some breakout. This breakout was obviously much better. You know, buying it here is kind of a little bit of a chasing. Another one. There's nothing here. I think I had some news, but it was very extended, so. Now this one obviously. Oh, I remember this one. There was an analyst who actually did their offering, I think. Put out some ridiculous price target. He had some follow through. If it had been another broker, I would have probably bought this one, but you know, since it was the same broker that did their offering a few weeks before, it was kind of an obvious pump job. So But I mean, this thing had some sick follow through. Could have bought it opening range highs, and went up like 20-30% in a few days. This is a recent IPO, had some earnings and had decent follow through. Ultra thin name though, really ultra thin. Didn't really have much follow through. Now this one I traded. Unfortunately, I did get stopped out on this day here, and then I got back in a couple of days ago on this breakout. But as I talked about in my February recap, this was one of my biggest mistakes I made so far this year. Getting stopped out of these earnings trades when they undercut one of these rising moving averages. I think all of the cases were when it undercut the rising 20-day, and then they just went back into the range and had more follow through. So this is something I gotta be more patient with earnings related names. Definitely gotta be more patient. Had a breakout out of a mini range. No follow through on that one. This thing has some great earnings. Had some decent follow through. Very thin though. Now this one I completely missed on the earnings day. I only saw this Volkswagen PR. I didn't see that they had some super earnings. So unfortunately I missed it. Ultra thin stock, but had some great follow through. Let's see, what's the news here? Okay, so they had a licensing agreement with Seattle Genetics. Wow, this one had some sick follow through from this bottom breakout. I don't know if there were any news on it, but obviously that's a sick follow through, up 100% since. RNN, now this one, oh no, not this day, here, February 10. Another one, woke up from the lows after being left for dead for multi-years and was the start of an enormous move. Okay. Let's see, February 10. Where is it? Here. There's no breakout here. Interesting. Another one, there's nothing here. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the 13th of February. I was still looking at the 10th of February. Let's see, the 13th. Yeah, had some decent follow through. Now I don't remember the other tickers I was looking at, unfortunately, so I'll just continue here. Nah, didn't really have much follow through. This thing had some news, but it was already so extended from its base, so. Had a little bit of breakout, then it had a shakeout the next day. No follow through from that one. Had a little bit of a nice bottom breakout, had some follow through, almost 20%, not bad. So this one looked really, really good. Looked like a 5-star setup, but absolutely no follow through. This thing had some insanely good follow through. For being a mega cap stock, that is. It's only a 5% move, but you can do on like whatever size you want on these kinds of stocks. Had a perk of a bottom range. Had only one day of follow through. No follow through at all on this one. Had some earnings, no follow through. No follow through. Had some earnings, but not any follow through. No follow through. Now this one, let's see what's the news here. Okay, so they had some drug trial news. You know, not bad. Had some insane follow through. Now this one, I regret I didn't trade it. This was a 5-star setup. I had it on my watch list. And then it broke out and I never bought it. Unfortunately. Had some great follow through. So this thing had a bottom breakout, thin name. Broke out with volume, and since then it's up a lot more. This one I was looking at when it broke out, had an interesting bottom breakout. And straight up since. AAOY, let's see here. Yeah. Closed week that day, but had some follow through before the earnings gap up. Let's see. It looked kind of good here. I think I traded it. No, I didn't trade it this day because I knew data was coming. Exactly, data mid-February, which it also had, and well, obviously it had some really good data. Oops, wrong day. This was a one-day wonder, probably some chat room pump. This one I did trade. I've been talking about this trade in a couple of videos, how I messed it up. Yeah, this one I actually did trade. I took a loss on it. I actually bought it on this day here. A little bit of a bottom breaker. This one trades with VRX, kind of closely with VRX. One day wonder. Another one day wonder. don't know what this is. I don't know why this one is here. Had a couple of days of follow through before the earnings announcement. I don't know why this one is here. No follow through from this rising 50-day bounce. Now this one had some great follow through. Ultra thin name, but went up more than 10%. This one I traded. If you remember from one of my videos, went up like 55% from my entry, so that was nice. Unfortunately, it was kind of a thin name. I think I bought 5,000 or 7,000 shares of this thing, and if I could, I would have bought 20 or 30, but unfortunately, it was just too thin. No follow through here. This one had great follow through. Very thin, but went up like 20%, so that's not bad. Beat. I saw it when it broke out, but again, I just passed on it. Like, as you know, I pass on like 90 or 80% of all the trades I see. I try to take the ones that I feel the most comfortable with, but sometimes you gotta take the trades that feel uncomfortable. And it's a work in progress. Had a tiny bit of follow through, not much. Another one-day wonder. Oh, OLED. I talked about this one in my February recap also. It was also a 5-star breakout chart. I had it on my watch list the day before it broke out. And it was a perfect one, you know, higher lows. You had a nice flag with higher lows, a range break, and then it broke out. I did see it breaking out, but I did not buy it, and well. One-day wonder. Had some great volume, but these microcap names, many times they get volume because all these chat rooms are pumping it. And then they just die the next day. Now this is interesting. This one woke up from the lows and had some great follow through. Had a secondary breakout. Had some great follow through. Thin name though. February 14. Huh. Yeah, it had a little bit of a breakout here. As you remember, this is the one I shorted too early. I got squeezed on part of my position. But yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda, bought it. I think I shorted it on this day here. And then I rode it up a couple of days until it finally cracked. Oh boy. Oops. One-day wonder here. Looked like a nice little trend break, but no follow through. Nope, no follow through from that little breakout attempt. This one had some follow through, ultra thin though. This was already so extended, so I'm not surprised it didn't have any follow through. No follow through. This one I actually bought. I think I bought it anyways. Actually, I don't remember. Did I buy it? Yeah, I think I did. Then I got stopped out for a small loss or something like that. Anyways. Nope. No follow through. Not really any follow through here. Now this one had some follow through. Holy shit. It's very rare that you get this kind of follow through on a large cap name like this, 650 million in the float. This is insanely good follow through. And all these other names like ESPR and I think also MDCO, they all traded on the same news. They all had a lot of follow through. Like ESPR broke out the day after, and MDCO, they all traded on the same catalyst. Oh, MDCO didn't have a secondary breakout, it just went straight up. This one had some nice follow through. Really nice follow through. Another one had some nice follow through if you count the earnings gap, but I rarely hold into earnings, so that doesn't count. No, not really any follow through. Like for me, I like follow through that lasts for like at least 3 to 5 days, preferably several weeks, where you can ride it up. But like 1 day of follow through, it's not really what I'm usually looking for. Not really interesting. This one I remember. I almost bought it. Unfortunately, I didn't. Edit. This was on my watch list, and then midday it got some patent ruling and went straight up. Now I could have chased it in like 21 at 21 and risked to 19 and still made like $7 on my trade. On the trade, but it's kind of hard to chase. Because you're not, I wasn't sure about the news, how important it was. No follow through on those earnings. Had a little bit of follow through. Had some follow through. This one I almost bought. It broke out into the close, just before the close, on like no volume, so I passed on it and had some follow through, not much. This one I actually bought on the earnings day, got stopped out the day after. Don't know why this one is here. This one had some great follow through on that gap up. Could have bought it opening range highs and went up almost 20%. Interesting. Nope, no follow through. No follow through. Not, no follow through. This one I started tracking because I thought it would pull back to the rising 50-day or something, but market was so strong, so it never did. Let's see, the 15th. Nope. Weeks. This one I bought, and again I still got stopped out one of these days here, just on support. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on these ones. Just screwing them up. Didn't I buy this one? No, I didn't. I almost bought it, but it was only a few days away from earnings, so I'm actually long now. I bought it on this day here. Had some really good news. Had a bottom breakout just before earnings. One day wonder. Let's see. Had a PR. Absolutely no follow through. This one had no follow through from this breakout. Tried to break out on volume, but no follow through. Like this one, it's a bankrupt stock, basically. So, but sometimes these things can run. So sometimes I buy them, and they can run like 300-500%, even though everyone knows they're bankrupt. But that's the thing, they run the shorts. Everyone think it's an easy short, and then momentum comes in and they go up a lot. No follow through. Nope. No follow through. And the earnings and a good chart. Looked like a decent little breakout chart. I almost bought this one, if I remember correctly, but the earnings were really a snooze fest, so I passed on it. This one I traded on the short side. Was up like 5 days in a row, and then on the 6th day it was red. And this is kind of one of my favorite setups when you have a stock that's up like 4 or 5 days in a row, and there's gonna be a red day eventually. Had some follow through, nothing really. Yandex, no. Had a great breakout here that I didn't completely miss it. I saw it breaking out, but again, for some reason, I didn't buy it. No follow through. No follow through. Had some earnings, but it was already very extended. It moves with the commodity, so very hard to trade these ones. Okay, so this had a PR. It's gonna join the S&P. S&P whatever. These things usually are one-day wonders. Those kinds of news movers. Had some news, no follow through. This one I bought on the earnings day. I got stopped out on this day here. Now this one I almost bought. I did see the upgrade or the analyst initiation pre-market, but was just no volume on it, so I passed on it. But I was very, I really wanted to buy it, just no volume. I tried to break out below this range here. Didn't have much follow through, and then it went straight up. Well, had some follow through, not bad. Had some follow through. Was some kind of a gapper. I don't know what the news were, but no follow through. This one had some great follow through. Ultra thin stock, but looks good. PPHM had a secondary breakout from the lows, and obviously had some decent follow through. Had a secondary breakout with great follow through. This one, no, I didn't trade this one. Again, why didn't I trade this one? Perfect. I think it's a recent spin off. Oh, it was a perfect looking short. Broke out a couple of days before earnings, had some news, some patent news, but no follow through. This one broke out of the bottom range on earnings, had some serious analyst upgrades from Opco, but had some follow through, but not much really. So this was a pump attempt from Twitter, from a Twitter account. APRI, I think I bought it, sold it for a loss. I thought it would do the same thing like OREX, but it never did. Okay, so there was a promotion. Fade breakout, didn't really look good, it was very sloppy. Now this was already really extended. This one I almost bought it. I think I bought it here and here, but I missed this one. But only had 1 day of follow through. Again, I usually look for at least 3 to 5 days of follow through. Okay, so this is what, there's an enormous amount of text here because it's a battleground stock. There's really no breakout there. Nothing there. So this one looked like it had a breakout of the lows, then next day it had a shakeout, and then it had some insanely good follow through. But these ETFs are like that. They gap all the time. Had a shitty earnings report. Tried to break out, but wasn't really a good looking short. Was already very extended. It looked good, but just really extended. That's why it didn't have any follow through, probably. Not much of follow through on this one. No follow through at all. It was very weak breakout also. This one had some follow through. I did see it, or actually didn't have much follow through, unless one was willing to hold through this pullback and this pullback. I usually don't have patience to hold through pullbacks. Now this is on my watch list right now. It's a kind of beaten down diagnostic stock, very high short interest, and it doesn't look bad. It looks kind of good. If it has a clean breakout candle on the 60-minute chart, I may buy it. This is just kind of a stock you can risk maybe 20 or 30 cents to make $2-3. So it looks good now. But let's see, the 17th of February, where is it at? It's here. Didn't really have much follow through from that breakout day. No, this is March. Let's see, February. No follow through. I was actually short on this day. I remember this. I got stopped out on my short on this day. No follow through. Now this one had earnings. Some decent follow through. Just a clean move, like higher lows all the way, no headaches. Let's see. It was a big beat and everything. I don't know why I didn't buy it. I felt like it was kind of extended maybe. It was like the third earnings capper or fourth. I usually like the first or second one. And this was like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was the fourth. So that's probably why I... Whoops, wrong one. Put here. Why I passed on it. This one, I looked at it. I saw it in the 88-90 cent area. Saw some serious volume coming in. I passed on it. Ironically, I bought it higher a couple of days later and took a break even on it because it had no follow through. Another one, great earnings, and I passed on it. This one I did trade. I got stopped out. Was it on this day? I don't remember. I got stopped out for break even. Okay, this one I've been talking about. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It just hurts to look at it. Nothing here. This one had some insane follow through. Recent spin-off. I think it's a spin-off from BIIB. Had some insanely good follow through. I think this thing has good earnings too. Yeah, 6043 has some really good earnings. Oh, lots of breakouts on this day, or breakdowns also, I guess. So this one had some news. I bought it on this day. Had some insanely big... No, I didn't buy it on this. I bought it on this day, but had some insanely big insider buy. So this is a potential... Like, if this thing sets up, I'll be buying this. I like it fundamentally, or I don't like it fundamentally because it really has... it could go bankrupt, but there is some there has been some serious insider buying in this thing, and I'm guessing if they have conviction on it, and this thing sets up, well, it could be good. There has been some buyout rumors on it and stuff like that. Had a secondary breakout, no follow through. It was already kind of extended here. They had some follow through. Had a shitty earnings report. Another one, oil gas name, earnings. Cannabis stock, not much follow through. Another S&P small cap 600 kind of stock. They're usually one-day wonders. Had a secondary breakout here. Had some news, China news. No. Some Trump news. But yeah, it was already extended. No follow through here. No follow through. Had a secondary breakout. Not much follow through. No follow through. No follow through. I think I bought it on this day. I don't remember. I think I did. Had some earnings, no follow through. Had some earnings, no follow through. Nah, not much follow through. It's already very extended. So no surprise that there was no follow through. And they had earnings, kept down on earnings. Nah, it's a very weak breakout. I think I bought it. Yeah, I bought it and I got stopped out before the close, or I just stopped myself out because it closed so weak. Another earnings. Like most of these, they're very weak earnings. When I buy earnings, I want something that's very strong, like a big beat and big growth. But most stocks, they really don't have much growth. They just don't have much going on fundamentally. So I pass on like 95% of all the earnings gappers. Another one. This one actually did beat. And this one actually has some great growth. But I passed on it because it was so thin. This one had some... actually, that is a shakeout candle here, but if it wasn't for that, it would have had a nice follow-through. Some random gap up, don't know. Okay, here. The text was lagging. Had an upgrade. So upgrades, sometimes they can work really well. If it's a good analyst that puts out some game-changing information, analyst that funds respect. But most analyst upgrades, or most gap ups on analyst upgrades, they just fail. They're just one-day wonders. Where was I here? Another earnings, had negative earnings, but they had some follow through. I was talking about this one when it broke out. I thought on this earnings, it guided down, it missed, it guided down, has negative earnings and EPS and revenue growth, and it was up on the day, and it was up like 15% in a couple of weeks. So some earnings, I just can't figure them out. There's something going on in the background that I don't know. about until maybe much later. Another one, no follow through, was a very sloppy chart. Some random breakout on some random, I guess it's a wheat stock. Okay, so there was a sympathy move to Trox, which had earnings. No follow through on this one. GMS had a no, never mind. Here. I think I had an offering. Or they announced an offering, I think. And then they had an offering a couple of days later. Okay. LL. Non-event earnings report, but extremely high short interest. Had some great follow through. Random, wasn't really a good setup, but had some follow through. Let's see, had great earnings, or not earnings, but great revenue growth. They have the color guard test kit or whatever that they launched, and they're growing the revenues very aggressively. But it was already kind of extended. They guided most of the earnings on this day here, so no surprise that there was no follow through. Had a bottom breakout, very thin stock, not much follow through. GNK, not much follow through. Had a big beat. And guided higher and kind of high short interest, but no follow through. And it was a beaten down stock also. Had a secondary breakout. Everyone was so bearish on this one on Twitter. A lot of hit pieces and everything, and it's just been straight up. Citron Research, they put out a hit piece on it back here. 300% lower, or well, not 300% lower, but 300% to go. So this one had a Barron's article. Great follow through on it. I think I traded this one. Yeah, I did trade it this one, but I didn't hold it overnight. It closed a little bit too weak. So, let's see. No follow through. Ultra thin stock. Let's see here. Secondary breakout. Another secondary breakout. No, this is March. Let's see, February. Here, not much of a follow through. This is a pump stock. Let's see, 22nd of February. Where is it? Oh, it got a hit piece and Seeking Alpha. But most of it was already known. It was just a good hit piece rider. That's why it had some follow through. But this is a very sketchy name. Don't buy it. Let's see. Had a positive Seeking Alpha, one day wonder. Had a little bit of a breakout from this little formation, but no follow through because it was so extended. As you remember, I bought it on this day here, and that's some insane follow through. Went up 50%. I sold my last shares up 50%. Just an insanely good trade. Let's see. So this one, if I had known that Kramer was gonna feature this one, after the close on this day, I would have bought it because I had a perfect breakout and it had some insane follow through the next day. But I wasn't aware that that was gonna happen. Let's see. A little bit of a bottom breakout. Had some nice follow through. Not bad, almost 15%. Had a shitty ER. Let's see. Had a mediocre breakout attempt. Good earnings, but these commodity related stocks, they're kind of hard to trade. Another snooze fest earnings report. Facebook. Oh, I remember this one. I almost bought it, but kind of slow mover. That's why I passed on it. And well, it's straight up since, but it's only a 5% move, so. Mediocre breakout attempt. Oh, I started tracking this one because it looked extended and it was a good short. I was hoping for one more day of follow through before I wanted to short it, but unfortunately it didn't happen. This one had some great follow through. Well, had some follow through. It looked kind of okay. Had very good follow through. Let's see. Okay, so they got some upfront, got some money from another company, some partnership, and they also reported some mediocre earnings. HIMX, let's see, where is this? Secondary. Oh yeah, I missed a short on it this day. I was hoping for more follow through. Down here, 22nd of February. AG's initiated with a buy with 26 price target. Looked like a pure pump job down here, but they had some data, and even though everyone on Twitter was bearish on the data, this thing had some sick follow through. Okay. Let's see, 23rd of February. Yep, I bought this one. I got stopped out the next day. Follow through. A little bit of breakout, and they had earnings, kept down on earnings. Looked kind of good, but nope, no follow through. Actually, this thing could be a long setup for next week. It's kind of riding this rising 100-day, putting in higher lows. If it tightens more, this could be a long setup next week. potentially. Anyways, recent IPO had a little bit of bottom breakout, decent follow through, ultra thin stock. No follow through, was overextended already. Or was it good setup? Another one, mediocre setup. I should stop putting mediocre setups here, but they do work sometimes. And sometimes perfect setups fail, so. But that's, I guess, what makes trading interesting. Oh yeah, I've been talking about this trade that I missed on the earnings. Let's see, 20. Now this recent IPO had a bottom breakout, and well, it's straight up since. Just straight up, very thin stock. I just want to mention that a lot of people, they like, some people, they just buy stocks that are in the bottom range, something like LN, or not necessarily like these large cap stocks, but they buy a lot of like low priced small stocks that are in the bottom range. And some people only buy strong stocks like Dan Sanger and Mark Minervini that are near 52-week highs or near 6-month highs or near all-time highs with shallow pullbacks. But the breakouts from all areas work. You can buy breakouts near, something like this on a strong stock, or you can buy breakouts on breakouts from a range on very weak stocks, and they all can work. Had some earnings. Square. I almost bought this earnings report. Had some insanely good volume, but because it had really good guidance. But yeah, it had no follow through, so no regrets there. Another one missed the earnings, but it was guiding higher, so that's why it had follow through, I guess. Had a beat, guided higher, very thin, very thin. Should have had some. This one beat, guided higher, and had some very good follow through. This one I did buy on earnings, got stopped out, and then I got back in here and I'm still in it, like half size or something. One of the fastest growing stocks in the US stock market right now. Yeah, looks good. This one bought some assets. Like these ones, it's very hard to assess these kinds of that buy assets or buy another company. Sometimes they can have some insanely good follow through, and sometimes they just don't go anywhere. They're just one day wonders. Let's see, 23rd of February. I don't know why I put it here. Had only one day of follow through. It bounced. I was looking for to buy this thing if it had touched the 50-day, but it kind of never went that far. Had an upgrade. No follow through really. Let's see. So this one, where is the 24th? Didn't I buy it on this day? No, I didn't. I bought it down here. Yeah. Nothing there. This thing has some great earnings. I'm stalking this one. If it can set up next week, that would be great. Needs to tighten up, but looks really good. Higher lows. It's kind of in a wedge right now. It's great earnings. Has some catalysts coming up, and yeah, I like it. Let's see. Had some FDA related news. Oh yeah, I remember this one. I thought the news were really good and has an insanely high short interest, but just no follow through. Got stopped out the same day. Still can't figure out why it didn't go higher, but it is what it is. That's what stops are for. Had some good earnings, I think, at least. Tried to bounce. I didn't really have any follow through. Mediocre setup. Had some follow through. And VRO. This has great revenue growth. Actually stalking it for next week in case it breaks out. They have a really cool product that relieves back pain. Could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see this stock. I don't know, at 200 this year or something, or next. No follow through from the earnings. Another one. Another S&P 500 ad. Now this one had some great follow through, or it had some shattered. That's why it had follow through. I don't know where it would have gone if it hadn't had shatter. Great follow through from this little. I think it gap and crapped on earnings. Pulled back to the rising 50. They did a mini rounded bottom here, had a breakout, and then just straight up. I think it has great earnings. I have to double check. Let's see. OLED had some decent earnings, beat and guided higher. Not bad. Oh, sir. No, this is the 9th. Let's see, 24th. That's some follow through. Oh, why didn't I buy it? It's an insanely good report. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it. Let's see, the 24th. That's some decent follow through. I need to check. Oh, yeah, so this is the shitty earnings. They beat, slight beat, very high short interest. And AAOI. I did buy this one. I'm still in it. I added on this day here. So that's, or actually no, I'm all out of the shares I bought on this day. I only have the shares I bought on this day left. Also one of the fastest growing stocks in the US stock market right now. Okay. Oh, 38 names. This is very exhausting. One day wonder. Try the bottom breakout, no follow through. Fitbit. Another one. One day wonder. Had some follow through. One day wonder. Another one day wonder. Another one. Another one. Where is it? Try to bounce there. Another one day wonder. This thing had some follow through. Thank you. Let's see here. Yeah. So this guy Uneman, at Uneman1, I think is his Twitter handle. Is a really good. He finds he's mostly short bias, but sometimes he finds some really good long ideas too. I think it's a pretty decent follow. Not much follow through. Or actually, it did have decent follow through. Then they had some earnings or something. They did make a move before that earnings. Let's see. Had a bounce of the rising 100-day, actually 150-day moving average. Great follow through. VRTU. Great follow through. I'm actually watching it for a potential long right now. And go sideways a little bit more so that both the 50 and the 20-day get a little bit tighter. A few more days of sideways would be ideal. Not much follow through. Acor, this one I almost bought. I don't know why I didn't. Again, this is a 5-star setup. Just a perfect looking. Look at how tight it was. Super tight. Had some news. Had data flagged. Nice and tight flagpole and breakout on high volume. It has some great follow through. Had some follow through, not much, I guess. 27th. Let's see here. Not much follow through. Go. Oh, this one I bought. I got stopped out on this day here. I sold some on this day here and then I got stopped out. Unfortunately. But it was a nice little move, I guess. Let's see, this one I bought actually. Then I got stopped out on this day here. They were gonna announce some data, but the data was a non-event, so I closed out the day before they were gonna announce the data. No follow through. It's another one. Great earnings. Great earnings. Didn't have much follow through. bottom breakout. But this thing had some decent follow through. Another one, just great follow through. It wasn't a good setup, but it broke out on volume and I mean, I guess, you know, had higher lows, but it wasn't really tight in this area, so passed on it. Yeah, nice follow through sense. And this one looked good, and that's some great follow through. I think it had earnings on this day here. I'm not sure. Yin, the 27th, yeah. I almost bought it. Almost bought it, but nope. Didn't do it. Other earnings related mover. I actually got it in one of my accounts. Stupid box of text. Had some nice follow through. Had a little bit of a breakout from this flag, high volume. Then it had some orphan drug designation news a couple of days later. That's where the follow through came from. Bounced a little bit. I missed that one. DVAX. Let's see. Oh yeah, 27th. I bought it here. This was a multiple 5-figure trade. I ended up making like 20 grand on it, I think. My risk was like $1,000 when I bought it, and I ended up making 20,000 on it because it had news overnight a couple of days later. Very good trade. Or well, it was a lucky trade. I don't think it was a good trade per se, but it was a lucky trade. 27th. Yeah, I bought it. I was up like 8,000 on it or 6,000 on it, and I got out break even. Had no follow through on that gap up. So this one had some news. Everyone on Twitter was bearish on it, and now there's some hit pieces coming. There's one hit piece. Ryder announced they're gonna write a hit piece on Monday. Obviously they are already short. Just the hit piece is gonna come on Monday, so we'll see about this one. What happens? I think they might be gonna gap it down, wash it out to the rising 50-day, and then there's gonna be a buying opportunity on it. Let's see, 27th. Okay, no follow through. Had some follow through. Actually, had some great follow through. This one had great follow through. Kind of a pullback breakout. 27th. No, never mind. Not here. Where is the 27th? Try to break out here. No follow through. No follow through. This is actually on my long watch list right now. Looks kind of good. If you can break out on volume through this little flag here, it's a recent IPO. These things can have some great follow through, like it had here. Went up, 13%, not bad. You know, it breaks out here. It could very easily go to 30, 31, 32. JNCE. Didn't I buy this one? Yeah, I did in one of my accounts, but I got stopped out the same day, I think. No, I bought it here and I got stopped. Nah, I don't remember. It wasn't this one. Never mind. Oh, okay. Last day of February. I'm getting really tired. It's very exhausting doing this. Let's see. Or mentally exhausting. 28. That's 100. had a report, not much follow through. This one had earnings, so one time, I think it was milestones or something in it. Other mediocre ER. Other shitty ER. It had a big one-day move just because it was beaten down and very high short interest. Follow through. No follow through. TTD 28th. So they priced their secondary, and even though it was already kind of extended from the nearest base, over 35%, it still made another like 18% move. Very interesting. Like, I think everyone should follow this guy, IPO Dave. He's very good with the IPOs and secondary price offerings. It's very good. Like, he buys a lot of these secondaries with a tight stop, and a lot of times stocks go up on secondary offerings if it's done for the right reason, like to expand the business. And funds like that, it's a good good opportunity for funds to get in a stock without having to buy it on the open market and push the stock price higher. Let's see here, 28th. Some kind of, I think I bought it on this news at a big analyst, positive analyst comments. So this analyst basically estimates the EPS is gonna be like 60% higher than consensus, but didn't have any immediate follow through. It's a high float stock, so these kinds can be, and it was already a bit extended, so I guess it was priced in. I guess the market already knew about it, but what do I know? Not much follow through. Let's see. Okay, I had some great pharma related news. I didn't buy it, unfortunately. NTRI. Great earnings. I did not buy it. Let's see, where is it here? Nope. Here. Had some follow through. Okay, so that's it with the February breakouts and breakdowns. I'll try to do one with the March or first half of March, maybe next week or something. Okay, that's it.